Hello, my squirrely minions! Lord Crocker Squirrel here, and with the lovely Kitty.
Hello.
And this time, this is going to be our fourth video for this sequence. Things that we haven't covered yet and probably should have. This is Muv Luv, and I think a lot of you would be aware of this game and the way it has been, or the way it was put together and actually brought to Steam. They did actually censor the game, and the net result of that was something that annoyed me greatly. When I finally went and hunted down for it, the 18 plus patch will be on an external website, not on Steam, but on another website, and will actually be charged for. This game is already $35, and then they're going to charge however much uh, for that patch when they finally get it round. I don't know when that's going to happen, but this game, under normal circumstances, is 35 freaking dollars. Okay, there is actually for another $5 elsewhere, or actually right here on Steam. Gotham and the Golden Lightning is $40 and apparently wasn't censored. I don't know why they decided to censor Muv Love. Really, there wasn't that much in terms of scenes of not brilliant nature or a not particularly family friendly nature. But this game would have been rated AO regardless of that, so kind of a thing. So, as we have had with the others, so shall we have with this. We actually have some gameplay footage for you. I've got about a half hour's worth of footage. We're not going to look at it all. I took about a half hour out of the beginning, or about 20 minutes out of the beginning, plus some other stuff. All right, and here we go. All right, here we go. Ages. And now we're going to click off of that real quick because that's a thing. And I'm going to turn this up here because the music for this is actually kind of neat. Okay. We got your start buttons. You can pick English or Japanese for text and image language. You got extra and unlimited, and you can apply either. You don't want to, in particular. And here we got some more. We've got a whole bunch of neat little menu items. I did actually get a look at the options to kind of work around some things here. I recall popping that in. Yes, I did. I popped it in full screen mode, and that's just for windowed. What the hell was I? What am I doing now? I'm being silly. We're checking out all the settings. Okay. There's voices and stuff. Actual material here. I turn the auto read speed to slow because I'd actually considered using it. And I didn't wind up doing that. And here is Sumika going through her memories. It's kind of like her diary here. Uh, she spends a lot of time in this talking about Takeru. Hey, Takeru, you're an idiot. And nobody was going to buy the snail thing. Okay. No, the bulk of the game isn't actually like this. We're going to do. She actually worked her little butt off to make sure they could stay together, and now Takeru is having his mecha dream. Right as the game is starting. And this transition from dream to waking state is actually one of my favorite bits here.
He's
Anyway,
dreaming he's playing Valdirman.
yep. In his dream, he's playing Valgernon. What's going to come out of here? And as he usually does in this game, Takeru loses. One dead mecha pilot. 3 whole frames. 3 frames means nothing. At standard, at even for computers of that day, you're still talking about a tenth of a second. Why did they start making the trigger so soft? What's this squishy feeling? Oh dear. Okay, this translation, the translation you're seeing here is actually the Amaterasu translation. They went through, they cleaned it up, they localized it a bit better. And I'll give them props for that. They did a really great job with this. Removing the adult segments and then putting them up for a patch later. That made me want to chew leather. It made me want to hurt people, and I don't like wanting to hurt people. Okay. Uh-huh. Yes, guys, the spoken language is Japanese. They didn't bother to do a dub, and that was also another good choice in my opinion. It would have been really hard to get Sumika to sound quite right, I think. Takeru would have been easy, but not Sumika. Getting K's flat affect would actually have been really bad too.
Ooh.
Uh-oh, now she's mad.
Now he's doomed.
Okay. There's really not, in terms of, it's a visual novel, so you're not going to get a lot of gameplay. But we're going to go back. We're going to jump up forward a little bit. There we go. There's a lot of story here, and you're talking between all of the endings for extra, or even just the 2 required ones, Maya and Sumika. You're still looking at what, 25, 30 hours for the gameplay? For just extra? Is that what we spent
For
on
just extra.
Going through all those routes would take you the better part of there's like 5 routes coming out of this.
Yeah, about 30 hours just for Maya and Sumika.
Yep. We know, we did it.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're going to see what the actual gameplay, what the actual interaction you're going to have with this is. Aside from clicking every time you want to do something like that. Actually, I had to click off for a second. And again, I don't know what the hell I don't know what I was doing there, but that's okay. Okay. I guess it was fun. Or I'll never forget that damn dog. Okay. They actually did go to some work on this, and I'm going to applaud them for it. It was a good story originally. It's still a good story. It actually hasn't aged great, but but we're talking about 2003. The artwork is still it still works really well for it. The story could use some touching up for if you were going to if you wanted to push it for the modern era, but it all still works.
Yeah, and you have to consider that it has the extra, the alternative, and
Unlimited. It's extra.
the
This has
unlimited.
extra and unlimited. Between those two things, I think we've put in over 60 hours on those.
Yeah,
Alternative's another 70 by itself. So
yeah.
an alternative will be released as a separate game later on down the line. They did actually manage to meet that stretch goal in the Kickstarter. They were wildly successful in that Kickstarter. $35. That wasn't the price I was expecting. I was hoping for quite a bit less, and I didn't get it. But you know what? It's okay because I'm over it. Getting Muv Luv here was actually a good thing. But again, I want to know how much that adult patch is going to run because I'm still not going to be thrilled with that. I'm going to
Yeah,
actually be
what I didn't get from the trailer uh, is that they show some scenes, especially from Unlimited, that I thought that they would have colored or do something like their uniforms for the TSF, and actually they are there, and basically what is left out, from what I can gather, is so little, and they will make you pay if you want to see the entire story.
yeah, more or less
I
what they're
don't get it.
really
They
it's
are selling on Steam the version with scenes that I thought that they would require some retouching and something, and no, they are there the way they are.
yeah.
So I'm actually, I don't understand. I think this is kind of, as much as I love Muv Luv, I think in terms of visual it has a great story to tell, and especially that the amount of decisions that you make that evolve into different storylines, different endings, and but come on, they're using Steam to promote the game. But if you want the entire game, you have to go chase the entire game someplace else.
Well, no, you just
This is unethical.
probably just that patch. It would be like it's like any other DLC setup, except that this is DLC they cut
Yes,
out of the game that we know was in it originally, and that's not
yes,
acceptable. It's really not.
yes. Because we have seen we what we played was the Japanese version, and we've seen the what it is about.
Right.
So it's not a big deal.
Well, not in my opinion. But then,
Seriously,
as long as you get adults buying it and not have it available for children, and there is an age check, then there's no reason to make these edits like that. Steam, in some part, this this issue is leveled at you. You are at fault. You actually caused the problem in and of yourselves. That ages didn't buck you on it is on them, but really at this point, this is you guys being puritanical. Come,
yes,
let's step off the dime here, please, shall we? You know,
it's being puritanical.
don't worry about pissing off the
No,
Baptists and the Mormons. They're not going to buy your games anyway. Okay, worry about pissing off the people that will play your games. All right, so I think that pretty much covers it as far as I'm concerned. The
yeah,
commentary I wanted to make is
and
made.
Yeah, and for those who like visual novels, I strongly suggest buying Muv Luv. And actually, the scenes that were cut out, they make a difference.
Yeah, they do make a difference. It's really very much an extension of each route and the way these games are put together. You have to know
They
what you take.
they are yeah, they are not just you're talking about lewd or something like that. No, it's not about this. So they allow this kind of thing like the uniforms in the
Yeah, the armored exoskeletons, they haven't even changed they haven't changed
yeah,
them at all.
they haven't changed at all. We were speculating that they were painted or something like that. No, this is allowed. But the other scenes, no, this is puritanical. This is idiotic. And but those scenes that were cut off and they are a part of a patch or something, they are part of the story. They are part of what makes this a novel. So if you're going to buy Muv Love, and I suggest you do buy because it has an interesting story to tell. Only with the endings Maya and Sumika, we had about 30 hours of extra,
And
and
then
there are
we did one
and,
ending for unlimited, and we still had what we had almost 30 hours of that.
we are still doing it.
Yeah, we're working on we're working on on alternative now, and
Yeah,
at least that far in, and we're probably only about halfway there. So,
yeah,
and even then, we will have to go back at some point and make a bunch more changes or a bunch of different
yeah,
choices. So,
yes. So it's super interesting and. It's not about it's an anime with porn. No, it's not. And chase down the patch. And
just be
shame on
aware that you
you,
are going to have
Steam.
and
Yes,
and
shame
just
on
be
you, Steam, and everybody else with this puritanical point of view that allows some things and doesn't allow any other thing. And if there was an age check in place, maybe we wouldn't have to go to this hypocritical thing in place.
all right. Anyway, when you play, beware this lady. I'm telling you now.
Yeah.
Beware. See that visage and fear. All right. So I think that's probably about it. I think we've railed enough. If you're gonna buy the game, and again, I actually recommend this game. It's going into this pile because the whole DLC from some other site thing for chunks of games that should have been in there in the first place. I don't find that acceptable, and that's actually why this is part of this series. Um, but be aware that if you want all the content at some point or another, you're gonna wind up having to buy that patch. All right. So between now and the next video, I will say be safe, be sane, and
Yeah. Let's make games fun again.
absolutely. All right. We'll see you later.
See ya.